Hello friends, Christmas is coming and thousands of people are getting ready to buy their first smart TV or renew the one they already have because it's obsolete. It's incredible how in just 20 years televisions have evolved from this to this. And in that same time the knowledge and television technology of 90% of the people has evolved from this, well, to this. That's why when you go to a store and the sales advisor appears who has also been trained to convince you to buy and talks to you about 4K, pixels, resolution, HDMI, OLED, and all those kind of complex terms, two things could happen. Or you get tired and say, okay, you won, I'll take it. Or you leave the store empty-handed and more confused than you entered. But I don't blame you because they're not simple terms. That's what I made this video in my style to explain what information you need to know before buying your new smart TV, and also show you the one I bought, and perhaps that will serve you as a guide. The bad that yesterday Rick went out for a drink with his friends and woke up with a hangover, so he's only helping with unboxing. Therefore, before buying, get comfortable and watch this video completely, and if you have already bought your smart TV, just watch this whole video and compare if the features you choose are correct, so that you can enjoy your smart TV for the next 6 or 7 years without becoming obsolete. Let's go with the video. Resolution defines the level of quality of an image, that is, how faithful the image on the screen is with respect to the real image, and the key to understanding it is in the number of pixels on each screen. Let's explain this better with pictures. All displays grab images on a grid of dots called pixels, and the more pixels fit on that grid, the better is resolution. For example, if we want to grab this happy face in this grid of 400 pixels arranged in 20 by 20, the best we will get is this. If the grid had more pixels, for example 1600, the figure would look like this, and if it had 4000 pixels, it would look like this. That is, the more pixels, the better quality. Of all the formats in the world of television, 3 are the most standard. The still surviving HD or high definition format for screens with 0.8 million pixels, Full HD format for larger screens with 2 million pixels, and the new Ultra HD format commercially called 4K because it is 4 times the previous format and made for even larger screens with 8 million pixels. My recommendation obviously choose a 4K screen, but not because you will see everything in 4K, but that way you'll be prepared for the future. 4K screens only show 4K videos that have been recorded with 4K cameras and specially processed. That's still very expensive, and that's why there's so little content of this type. Most of what you'll see is HD and Full HD, but if you want to try all the powerful 4K resolution that your new smart TV can show, and also for free, connect it to YouTube and search YouTube 4K. Here you'll find good videos free in high resolution to test your new screen. Have you already chosen the type of screen of your smart TV, LED, QLED, OLED? Whatever you choose, you must know something. All screens in the world have a common characteristic. All of them must generate light, because the only way to see an object is for it to emit or reflect light, because that's how our eyes work. So according to the way a screen generates light, you will find 2 types, the backlit and the self-illuminated. Let's explain this. Backlit screens need a back or rear light to be seen, and there are 3 types of these. LCD screens, which use a white fluorescent backlight, and precisely this took them out of circulation, because the light from a fluorescent fluctuates and is not uniform, so when changing the angle of the screen, we only saw shadows. LED screens, which are currently the best sellers and which change their backlight to strips of white LED diodes. These generate a more uniform light, allowing the images to be seen much better from different angles. And they've evolved LED screens with nanocrystals, which also use LED diodes as backlight but blue. And the evolution is in their pixels, to which they added some microcrystals, which in contact with the light significantly improves brightness, tone, and the contrast of the images. But since the phrase LED screen with nanocrystals is not commercial, each brand promotes them with other more marketing names. Samsung released them as Quantum LED or QLED. LG released them as NanoCell, and Sony released them as Triluminous. All these displays are the same technology with different names. While self-illuminated screens no longer need backlight because it is the pixel itself that generates and controls its own light, that is, in these screens each pixel is like a microscopic LED, These are modern OLED displays, and since they don't need space for backlighting, they can make them as thin as 3 or 4 millimeters. Although my recommendation is conditioned by the budget, I would still recommend a LED screen with nanocrystals in the brand and model that you prefer: QLED, NanoCell, Triluminous. It will probably cost you $150 to $300 more than the common LED screen, but the image quality, well worth it. Although they are more modern, I wouldn't recommend an OLED screen. They're still excessively expensive, from $2,000 upwards. They consume more power and experience a technical problem called screen burn that you should inquire very well before getting it. An examination question: what makes an ordinary TV become a smart TV? Failed. An operating system. Thanks to the operating system, a television becomes an intelligent system and a portal to the internet. But how many operating systems are there, and which one you should choose? We're going to explain that now. There are 3 of the most important operating systems dominating the smart TV market. The WebOS operating system, which is exclusive to LG and it's present in 50% of the smart TVs in the world. The Tizen operating system, which is exclusive to Samsung and is installed in 25% of the TVs on the planet. And the Android TV operating system, which dominates 45% of the television share and which isn't exclusive to anyone because it's an open system, that is, it doesn't belong to any brand. These 3 operating systems control the smart platforms of 85% of the TVs in the world and give the intelligence capacity to your TV. They are very similar in terms of navigation experience and functions, so the user doesn't pay much attention during your choice, and most people are even unaware of its existence. My recommendation: the 3 platforms are very good, and over the years they have been improving more and more, but I would recommend the Android TV platform, basically for 3 things. First, because it is an open system, it has no owner. That is why many brands choose it and bring it already installed. Brands like Sony, Philips, Hitachi, RCA, Xiaomi, Sharp, and many other brands. This union of brands keeps it in constant development, and that is why it is the one that receives the most updates. Second, it has the advantage of having Google Play as an application store, and we all know this is where the largest number of applications for Smart TV are found. And third, and the best advantage for me, is that the new smart models with Android TV already have Chromecast integrated. Yes, this device that is used to connect the cell phone to the television and to which I've already done several tutorials is already built into the Smart TV, which gives it complete compatibility with any Android device. All the powerful features that I could tell you about a Smart TV wouldn't make sense without a powerful processor. And just as you notice how many cores your cell phone was before buying it, your Smart TV shouldn't be the exception. I'm not going to delve into electronics or processing because it's too complex, so we go straight to the recommendation. Most Smart TVs have a 2-core processor, but if you can afford it, I would recommend a 4-core processor. Of course, if you want the operating system to go smoothly and without binging. Currently, there are televisions with 6 and up to 8 cores, but that will influence the final cost. Trust me when I tell you that 4 cores will be enough. And the last data is the digital toner. I consider important to add this data because in most countries, the analog blackout is already being carried out. The analog blackout is the cut that all television channels that currently broadcast analog signals are going to suffer to be replaced by digital signals. And these new digital signals won't be able to be seen on your brand new Smart TV if it doesn't have a DTT toner with the format chosen by the Ministry of Transport and Communications of your country, because there are like 6 different formats. When I bought my Smart, I took a good look at this matter, since stores still have 2018 and 2019 models that companies can no longer sell in all countries, and they put them here without a digital toner, since there's no rule that completely prohibits it. Well, you're warned. Next year, I don't want to see you rushing out to buy a decoder to watch the new DTT, when you could have chosen it and incorporated it into your new Smart TV. Well friends, it's not all the data you need to know about a Smart TV, but they are the most important that could save you a headache and a bad investment. Well, like Lazy Rick is starting to get up, I'll ask him to help me with the unboxing of the new Smart TV that I chose. My order finally arrived. Now I'll check it if it's really what I ordered. Since I've already had Samsung, this time I choose a 55-inch Sony Bravia X80e, which is upper mid-range and it cost me about $1,000. You can see it supports 4K resolution and HDR or high dynamic range that I didn't explain for sure time, but it's another technology that will revolutionize images soon. And as I explained, it has tri-luminous screen and smart Android TV platform. This model has a Chromecast integrated and a label that warranties that it does have a digital toner with the format chosen for my country. Since Rick seems the most excited about knowing the smart, I'll put a chair for him to sniff around. In the meanwhile, I will check that everything is okay inside. TVs are easier to unpack now, you just have to remove the lower plastic locks and the box will come out completely. The high-end televisions don't use plastic in their finished, but metallic edges such as aluminum, which gives them a much fine presentation. An advantage of your smart with Android TV is that you can configure it with your Google account directly from your Android cell phone. Now just hang it on a good rack and secure it well. Ready! And you don't know who's gonna give it the first try. Of course, after Rick finishes watching his favorite series. Easy buddy, someday you'll be as famous as Rex. Alright, finally Rick will share the TV with me. Although he looks more interested in playing with his little bone. Well friends, I made this video because I have seen many family and friends eager to buy a new smart TV, but with too little knowledge to make a good choice, so I hope it will help you a lot. Have his analysis and reviews, and as I always ask, give me a like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Rick and I will be very grateful. Help us and democratize technology.